Hello, everybody, and welcome to this Sunset Learning Institute and AI Certs webinar. Today, we are going to talk about unlocking the future of networking, how AI, automation, and advanced architectures work together in our networking environment. This is a Sunset Learning Q3 promo webinar. So thank you for everyone that is attending, and thank you for Sunset Learning Institute and AI Certs for having me present here today. My name is Dwayne Natwick. I am an AI Certs certified instructor. I'm also certified on various other cybersecurity and AI credentials. I'm a Microsoft certified trainer, an Osaka ISC2 certified trainer, as well as being APMG accredited through Osaka. So I am looking forward to talking to you about AI, networking, and a little bit around how we secure our networks and how we can utilize and leverage artificial intelligence to give us the most secure networking environment possible. So let's jump right in to our agenda. So today, what are we going to be talking about? We are going to be discussing some high-level aspects of the role of artificial intelligence in networking, how we can utilize the tools that we have within artificial intelligence to provide automation and orchestration within our environment, the advanced architectures and how those advanced architectures that we're working into in terms of virtualization and cloud and software-defined networks, and how those can be better managed, better executed with artificial intelligence. And then we'll talk a little bit around some real-world applications of artificial intelligence in the network infrastructure before we start and talk about some training opportunities and promotions that we are offering as part of this webinar. So let's start before we kind of get into the role of AI in networking. Let's set the stage just a bit in terms of what are we talking about when we mention artificial intelligence? What is artificial intelligence for those of you that might not understand the term completely? Well, artificial intelligence is the aspect of machines or computers doing human-based tasks. So when we're talking about artificial intelligence, and when we're talking about generative artificial intelligence, the generative AI using ChatGPT and Meta and Copilots and Apple AI and all of those other all those different tools out there for giving us a question and response, or giving us some aspect of how do we automate, giving us code, giving us all of these great tools within their use. We can then work and utilize the aspect of artificial intelligence for the repeatable and mundane types of tasks that maybe are not as don't make us as effective or efficient in our daily work, and making us more effective then and efficient and more scalable, more automated, and give us the ability to continue to improve and focus on the more complex tasks as the human beings. So artificial intelligence from a networking perspective then can take us in various directions. Artificial intelligence can help and have an impact on understanding what's going on in terms of our network performance, in terms of activity that's taking place, in terms of protection and security of our assets, as well as levels of efficiency. And we'll talk more about some of those use cases later on in this presentation. But when we start to think about that and start thinking about network performance and how can AI assist us with that, well, understanding if a lot of attackers utilize artificial intelligence to do the adversarial aspect of networking and of artificial intelligence, and we can counteract that with our own proactive and positive uses of artificial intelligence, such as blocking bots that are flooding our network for distributed denial of service attacks, looking for anomalous behavior that is taking place within our network, looking at floods of information going in and out could be an indicator of compromise of somebody that is exfiltrating data in our environment. So, and all of those things are going to affect performance. They're going to affect our security, and they're going to also affect the effectiveness of our network. And artificial intelligence can make us much more efficient in understanding these particular types of adversarial impacts before they start to degrade our performance and our effectiveness, especially to our critical systems. The shift and to kind of take that the next step in terms of shifting from reactive to proactive network management, as stated before, understanding the proper behaviors and the typical behaviors of our network, the typical bandwidth that we see within our network. How do we look at that proactively, look for changes in behaviors and aspects within our network that are triggers and indicators of compromise on our network that could be something nefarious that's taking place? That is something that AI can help us with, being much more proactive in understanding these types of situations before they become something that is causing harm and possibly irreversible damage. Such as an example on this is threat detection. Artificial intelligence is used very heavily within many security information event management systems and security orchestration and automation response systems to, again, look for anomalies, understand what regular behavior is, and do machine learning algorithms to then analyze and run analytics and then run playbooks, automated playbooks to essentially take offline such types of adversarial events and activity that's taking place. That is a very helpful use of artificial intelligence. Visual AI icons overlaying network diagrams, being able to create and recreate from the evidence that's found and the information and logs and files that have been part of maybe a particular event, put that event all back together and show and build a network diagram and put a network diagram in place that then we can, as human beings, look at the complexities of that attack, look where that attack is taking place, and then make our informed decisions about how we are going to respond to those potential incidents. That is another aspect of AI and how AI can be used in networking, as well as even creating network diagrams. Having that documentation and creating that documentation is another way AI can be used within our organizations and within our network architecture, within our network performance monitoring, our network security, our network efficiency, and again, our network documentation. Some of the other benefits around AI and networking, I've hit on a few of these high level already, but again, fast decision making. Oh, AI can analyze data at a much more rapid speed in real time than 100 security analysts. So if there is if in our network operating center or our security operations center, some events that are coming in and logs and that are coming in from our various networking tools, from our various networking appliances, we cannot, as human beings, analyze those events and find anomalous behavior and nefarious behavior as quickly as artificial intelligence can. So, from an analysis standpoint, the ability for artificial intelligence to analyze and do the math and run the algorithms and find those anomalies, find those indicators of compromise very quickly is going to be helpful. Enhances our security, again, being proactive to find those threats, to be proactive in finding those performance issues. That is what AI is going to help us with. As I mentioned before, earlier on, the mundane, the repetitive aspects, as well as the amount of data that we are bringing in to our environments, is very, very large and very deep. And so being able to take that data, take all of that raw information and process that quickly is going to make sure that our threats can be found proactively. They can be found potentially before there is a major data breach or a ransomware attack or something of that nature. They can find the anomaly, find the event, and then give us the evidence of that event so that we can respond to it appropriately. Reduce downtime, again, predictive maintenance, using sensor data and understanding what that sensor data tells us on various machines, various appliances in our supply chain, within our manufacturing, within our heating and cooling, within our data centers, finding that information and understanding that information quickly, and then allowing us to do that maintenance before there is any failures. So maintaining resiliency in our network, AI can help us with that as well. And then the last piece on here is the operational efficiency. And I've hit on some of that already in terms of those automation, the routine tasks. There are tasks that we have to do as part of, from a network operations or a security operations approach on our network to make sure that firewall rules are up to date, make sure that our VLANs are working appropriately and that traffic is balanced and performance is there. AI can evaluate that very quickly. They can also make adjustments through AI agents and AI playbooks to make those adjustments automated without human intervention. Now, one of the things that I always state whenever I'm doing a talk about artificial intelligence is, even though artificial intelligence can help us with a lot of these efficiencies, a lot of these decision-making tasks in real time, and do those a lot quicker than a human being, it does not mean that human intervention and human monitoring is not required. Needs to be the adult in the room, and we need to make sure that we are appropriately monitoring the decisions and the tasks that artificial intelligence tools are making, so that we don't create a vulnerability on our own as well. Automation and orchestration, to take that a step further into simplifying that complexity, as we were talking about in the previous bullet, around those the simplified tasks and those repetitive tasks. How do we maintain a level of and build automation within our networks, within our architecture, within our systems, and coordinating the automated processes? And if we can coordinate the automated processes of our organization with automation and with artificial intelligence tools, we can then be more scalable. We can be more consistent. We can reduce those manual errors. If we've got somebody hands on keyboard that is going to potentially make mistakes, we can help to alleviate some of that human error. AI can be a checks and balance, as we have to be checks and balances to AI. We all can systematically work together and build levels of automation, with such as automating the network configuration, making sure that we're working together in terms of running proper templates, and then once those templates are run, the artificial intelligence tools notifying us how that the deployment is complete, and then we can go in and do our customization of the network for the particular use case. But the base level network configuration is there. It's run automatically as part of our automation within AI. Some other things to think about in terms of the architectures and utilization is as we are moving outside of just our private data centers, we are now moving more towards hybrid deployments and cloud, public cloud deployments, and more often than not, our architecture is virtualized. And within that virtualization, we have function virtualization in terms of network appliances. We have software-defined networking. We are using virtual network interface cards, VNICs, rather than physical patch cables to plug in. So managing that and monitoring that as well, artificial intelligence can help us with some of that aspect of automating that network design, that network architecture, and deploying that. Cloud networking obviously provides a lot of flexible and scalable resources, as well as some centralized control. And with that centralized control, again, we can utilize artificial intelligence tools to help to build proper security controls, proper network segmentation, and utilize all of that for more agility and adaptability, and build cost-effective deployment mechanisms and automation mechanisms, again, to recognize threats, recognize sensitive data locations, and understand risks and address those risks more effectively and efficiently. Real world applications, some aspects that we've already touched on a little bit, but some things to think about and take into account as we're looking at uh, the use cases that we can use for artificial intelligence. Predictive maintenance, we already mentioned. We have our supply chain. We have raw data coming in from sensors from all over our, maybe our delivery trucks, our manufacturing plants, our um, uh, our um, our stores, our data centers, to understand what's taking place. Maybe we're seeing a network switch or a server that is beginning to overheat. Understanding that understanding performance situations in terms of maybe the CPU is running at high capacity. Some of those can be maintenance situations. Some of those could be adversarial information situations with a potential attack taking place. Artificial intelligence can help to automate that monitoring and even the response aspect of that to trigger a call to a system admin, or even to a heating and cooling expert if it's something that's within our data center, to address that before our systems start to overheat and start to degrade in performance. Anomaly detection, I've talked about that in terms of threat detection. Understanding what behaviors are normal within our organization and with our environment, and then addressing and recognizing when something outside of those regular behaviors happen, so that then we can quickly and proactively analyze that information and look and see what that information is going to take, and how that information is going to take place, and what's going on, and what is the evidence that we see, and what is the aspect of response that we need to do. And can we use artificial intelligence for particular automated responses in terms of, maybe it's a malware attack or cross-site scripting or injection attack on on our databases or on a server, and maybe we isolate that server from the rest of our environment, the rest of our infrastructure, to avoid a deeper infection. And artificial intelligence can find those anomalies quickly and address those efficiently, much more so in some cases than we can on a human perspective. Dynamic traffic routing. This is an interesting one. but understanding and kind of analyzing traffic, similar to kind of proper behaviors and behavioral aspects of the anomaly detection from a threat perspective, but from an efficiency and effectiveness perspective. Understanding that traffic from point A needs to go to point B, but it's going through point C. What happens if point C is not available? Can it reroute that traffic effectively through point D to get to point B? Those are things that we want to make sure that we could use artificial intelligence to do those analytics and do that analysis very quickly to find that other route. We use that similarly and within our, on our phones in terms of GPS for traffic. It's the same type of concept of our GPS recognizes if there's a backup in real time, and it can then tell us that it can reroute us this route, and it's going to save us 15 minutes. Um, those are things that AI can help us do from a network perspective. All that data traversing across our network is the same that we see firsthand when we are driving around our neighborhood, driving around on highways, going on vacation in our cars, or in a plane or in a train. We see traffic anomalies, traffic changes that take place, and our GPS recognizes that. That's similar to what we're talking about in terms of how AI can help us with that dynamic traffic routing. Um, the other piece here, kind of thinking about that, as we're looking at some of these use cases, aspects of AI and AI use within real world and some real world examples around that. We've kind of hit on a little bit of those. Like I said, if a data center goes down or a ISP goes down, AI can help to find that route, find that traffic. Um, some things around anomaly detection and around threat detection, being able to quickly and easily sift through thousands, hundreds of thousands for large enterprises of activity logs and event logs in real time, and picking out very quickly something that is an anomaly to the rest of the batch. There's a term that was coined a long time ago, back when we started talking about, and organizations like Splunk and others were IBM QRadar were starting to position their security information and event management systems, their SIM systems. One of the things that they were saying was that it eliminated log fatigue, because before those aggregating log systems came into play and they started building machine learning and artificial intelligence algorithms into them, somebody sat there, or multiple people sat there, sifting through every one of the logs, whether they're, Exchange logs or Windows logs, to find an anomaly. Uh, Artificial intelligence can find that very quickly and easily as well. So to just kind of wrap up some things around what might be a next step from this, if you felt inspired, felt like you enjoyed the context and the content of this webinar, we are offering a special promo offer with this webinar of 25% off on any on AI certs courses. You can come in and join the 5-day AI Plus networking course and get a real deep dive in these courses. And there are various other courses that AI Certs has and that are offered, but this webinar is specific to the AI Plus network course. What you get with that course, as you do with any of the technical AI Certs courses, is not just death by PowerPoint, not just a presentation, but you get a lot of hands-on and real-world scenarios and vendor-independent aspects of using artificial intelligence, of working on various different networks, whether it's a private, whether it's a public network with, Microsoft, AWS, Google. You get hands-on within all of those types of environments. You learn how to integrate artificial intelligence and automation into your networking infrastructure, and these courses also help to keep you in front of and staying ahead of the evolving landscape that we have within IT, as artificial intelligence continues to evolve, as we continue to utilize various open AI tools such as or generative AI tools such as OpenAI, uh, co-pilots, Meta AI, Claude, all those different tools. We need to continue a level of understanding, and the AI Certs AI Plus network course can help you to do that. This register, here's your link and your registration code. Use AI Net 25. The promo is good through the end of October of 2025. You can see you uh, get quite a discount on the course for the AI Plus network. There is an exam voucher included. There is a certification test at the end of the course that you can take on the AI Certs learning management system platform to gain your AI Plus network certification. So you get that as part of the price, as well as 5 days of instructor-led training by an AI certs certified trainer. So I welcome you to go ahead and enroll now. Take the next step. Uh, Work with with Sunset Learning. You can reach out to info@sunsetlearning.com to gain more information about the AI Plus network certification, as well as the other certifications that are available through AI certs being offered through Sunset Learning Institute. So I want to thank you very much for your time today, and hope you enjoyed this and have a great rest of your day.